Good afternoon, everybody. Big Mike back here with you once again. Welcome back to Big Mike Talks, where today I have not one, but two predictions to make for this weekend in wrestling. As we have TripleMania, AAA, TripleMania in Tijuana, and Impact Wrestling's Slammiversary. So, grab yourself a snack, maybe something to drink, and let's do this as we dive into AAA TripleMania Tijuana, which looks like it's set to be a really fun show. Can't wait for some Lucha Libre action. As we start off with the Copa AAA Tijuana match, which I believe is a battle royal, which you can also win by pinfall and submission. Participants: Willie Mack, Return of the Mack, who's been on Ring of Honor recently, so glad to see him back in AAA. Mr. Tijuana, who is one of my favorite comedy characters of 2023. Jack Cartwheel, exactly what you're thinking of. La Hydra, I believe her name is. I do apologize. And yes, this is intergender, so we got men and women. Flammer, who I believe is another member of Los Toxicas. Mystices Jr., who, if I remember correctly, was the original Sin Cara in WWE, if you remember him. Boomer King, big old return to AAA. He's been MIA for a little while, too. Nino Hamburguesa, who I believe was the last winner of one of these matches. Diamico, who I am not super familiar with. Gringo Loco, who I am also super familiar with. Laredo Kid, Taurus, and a mystery wrestler. My prediction for the mystery wrestler, I'm gonna say it's a little AEW influence. I'm gonna say it's Sammy Guevara. He's got a lot of heat going on since relinquishing the mixed tag team titles with Ty Mello. So I think he's going to make his return to AAA this weekend. The winner of this match, I'm going to go with Jake Cartwheel. I feel like he needs a little bit of a push here in AAA, and something like this would be fun. Next up, we got trios action for the ladies, as it's Team Mexico, who is Dallas, who is a recent transaction from CMLL, Lady Shani, and Sexy Star 2, as they take on Team Rest of the World, which includes the current NWA Women's Champion, Camille, Viva Vane, and the upcoming opponent for Camille, Natalia Markova. So it's kind of a can they coexist kind of thing. I think Team Mexico is going to take the win here. Just seems kind of obvious to me. Next up, trios match for the men, as we have Vampiro, who has had, multi-man matches and hardcore matches for AAA, so nothing really fancy, as he teams with Jack Evans, who I believe this is the first time he's been back in AAA in a while, so that's pretty cool. And Aramas, who is the current Blue Demon Jr. champion, who I think that's a title that only gets defense once a year, which is interesting, as they take on Pagano and the NWA World Tag Team Champions, La Rebellion, that's Bestia 666, and Mecha Wolf. And what's interesting about that is, recently, Vampiro has been managing these two. So, will that come into play? Honestly, I think so. I think Vampiro is going to turn on his partners and have Pagano and La Rebellion win. Next up, an Atomicos match, which I believe means it's an elimination style. as we have Team Chicano, which is Negro Casas. And no, I'm not dropping an N-bomb, I promise. Chessman, Argius, and Daga, who's making his AAA return, take on... Oh, and also Damien Say, Bestia's father. No, I'm wrong. That's one of their opponents, taking on Team Baja, which is Damien Say, Rey Horus, and Extreme Tiger. I think the Chicanos are going to win this. No real reason why. Next up, in an ambulance match. This was originally, I believe, supposed to be a tag match, but at request of QT Marshall, it has been changed to a one-on-one ambulance match between him and Pentagon Jr. Considering this is kind of QT's first foray into AAA, I think Penta is gonna... I think QT Marshall is gonna get the win here. I'm not sure if QTV is gonna get involved, but I guess we'll see. Next up, technically the semifinal for the hair versus mask tournament. As we have the team of Roosh and LA Park taking on Sam Adonis and Psycho Clown. Now, I believe the losers of this bout go on to the next leg of TripleMania, which I believe is in October. No, it's in August. Wow. And they face off in a one-on-one contest in a hair versus mask match. So I think the team that's going to win here. And honestly, both sides have their issues. This is the ultimate can they coexist match. I think Roosh and LA Park are going to win. So that means Psycho Clown versus Sam Adonis, hair versus mask. And I think we all know who's going to win that. And finalamo, our main event for TripleMania. It's for the AAA Mega Championship. El Hijo del Vikingo defending his title against Kenny Bagad Omega. I know this match was set for TripleMania a few years ago, but it was stopped due to Kenny Omega's many injuries, and he relinquished the title. Vikingo has been champion ever since. So this is going to be an interesting bout. I don't think we're going to have a new champ just yet. I think Vikingo is going to have the win and then set up his the next leg of TripleMania. So, yep, that is it for TripleMania. Next up, we got Slammiversary, which I am super hyped for. Definitely a couple matches to get into, including the first match on the pre-show. It's for the Digital Media Championship as Joe Hendry defends against Kenny King. King has had some help from his now protege, Sheldon Jean. But I think Joe Hendry still pulls it out. He has been a great digital media champion, and I think that continues. Next up, we got this random 6-person tag team match player. You have Jody Threat teaming with the Death Dolls, that's Courtney Rush and Jessica, taking on the Shawntourage, that's Giselle Shaw, Savannah Evans, and Jai Vidal. I think the Shawntourage is going to get the win here. They're the most complete team out of the two, and I think it should be a fun one. First match on the main card, we got Ultimate X. Now, if you don't know what Ultimate X is, it's pretty much they're going to hang an X in between a couple ropes, crisscross above the ring. Goal is to go up and get it. It's pretty much a ladder match without a ladder. That's the best way I can describe it. And this is for the number 1 contendership for the X Division title. Participants, we got Jonathan Gresham, Speedball Mike Bailey, Kevin Knight of New Japan, the former Design member, Alan Angels, and Kushida. So we do have a team advantage between Kushida and Kevin Knight. We'll see if that comes into play. I think someone... You know what? This is kind of interesting. We could definitely have plenty of high flyers. But then there's the one that stands out. Gresham. He is definitely more the ground and pound type. So, you know what? I'm going to go with something different. I'm going to go with Jonathan Gresham. I think he deserves a win. I think he deserves more of a push. And, yeah, we'll see where we go from there. Next up, Knockouts Tag Team titles on the line. As the Coven, Taylor Wilde and Kylan King, take on kind of the Franken team of Killer Kelly and Masha Slamovich. Kelly and Slamovich have been in a really bloodthirsty feud against one another. So them coming together kind of makes a little sense. And as much as I like the Coven, I think Killer Kelly and Masha Slamovich are going to dethrone them. Like, something in my gut tells me that's going to happen. Next up, we got Eddie Edwards, along with Alicia Edwards in his corner, taking on Frankie Kazarian. This is the 3-peat in their series of matches. And Kazarian isn't coming alone. He's bringing Tracy Brooks. So that's going to be interesting. I do think Tracy Brooks is going to factor into this. So I think the ultimate winner, is going to be Frankie Kazarian. Next up, Fatal 4-Way action for the Impact Tag Team titles, playa. As the ABC, that's Ace Austin and Chris Bay, defend their titles against Brian Myers and Moose, Rich Swann and Sami Callihan, and the returning Subculture, that's Mark Andrews and Flash Morgan Webster. There is a bit of a stipulation match going down tonight, where if Zachary Wentz, since he's been returned, he joined up with Trey Miguel. If he beats Chris Bay tonight, they get added to this match, making it a 5-way. I don't know if that's going to happen. I kind of hope it doesn't. As much as I like the Rascals, I think this match really doesn't need them. But overall, I think the ABC are going to retain. There is no reason to have them hot the potato the title for now. Although, it is interesting. They are kind of running out of challengers. So, we'll see what goes on from there. Next up, for the X Division title, you'll have Chris Sabin defending against Leo Rush. I will admit, upon first glance, Sabin just won this title. I would like to see him have a decent run, but I got a weird feeling they're going to give Leo Rush the title. Like, he's coming into this match with a lot of momentum and a lot of hype, so I think Leo Rush is going to get the win here. Next up, a tag team match, which is very interesting. We got Bully Ray, who was initially supposed to team with Steve Macklin. Sadly, he got hurt. He has now been replaced by Cody Deaner of the Design, as they take on current on hiatus president Scott D'Amore, and it was supposed to be PCO, but he got pretty brutalized last week. He got set on fire. And actually, as a guest enforcer, we have Darren McCarty of the NHL. I believe he played for the Red Wings. So, I still think PCO is going to be involved in this match. And I think we're going to see him and Scott D'Amore pick up the victory. Diener is pretty much pin bait at this point. Next up, we got the Knockouts title on the line as Deonna Purrazzo defends against Trinity, the former Naomi in WWE. And while I have been enjoying Purrazzo's run, I think it's time to belt up Trinity. She will be a perfect Knockouts champion and give some rise to some more challengers, which I am down for. And fine a la Mo, our main event of the evening. A singles match for the Impact World Heavyweight title as Alex Shelley defends against Nick Aldis, who is multiple-time Impact World Champion. He's held the NWA World title. Man, this is a tough one for me to call because I feel like Shelley just won the belt. But Aldis has been a house of fire lately. So I think what I'm going to go for, an Alex Shelley retention. And maybe we see Sabin step up as his next challenger. I'm not sure. It's going to be an interesting way to go. And I'm excited. I hope you all are too. My review for these shows will probably be up on Monday. Obviously, tomorrow we have the weekly recap show, which I hope y'all tune in for. Until next time, happy wrestling, everybody. Peace.